You know what's dangerous? A person who can look you in the eyes and lie straight to your face without a flicker of hesitation. These people don't just twist the truth occasionally. They live in deception. It's not a one-time mistake, it's a pattern, a way of operating. And if you're not careful, their lies will seep into your world like a slow poison, contaminating your relationships, your confidence, and your ability to see reality for what it is. The chronic liar is someone who bends the truth so frequently that even they start believing their own fabrications. And the worst part, they don't care about the damage they cause in the process. They'll tell you what you want to hear, manipulate your emotions, and make you question your own perception, all while keeping a straight face. You can't build anything real with these people. Not a friendship, not a business, not even a simple conversation without wondering, is this the truth or is it just another game? Now, here's the tricky part. Liars don't always come with flashing warning signs. Sometimes they're the ones who seem the most charming, the most persuasive. They know exactly how to craft their words, how to make you feel comfortable, how to gain your trust. And that's what makes them so dangerous. They don't lie because they have to. They lie because it benefits them, because it gives them control, because it keeps them one step ahead while leaving you in the dark. Ever been in a situation where something felt off, but you couldn't put your finger on it? That's the work of a skilled liar. They create just enough confusion to make you doubt your instincts. Maybe they twist details ever so slightly, shift blame onto someone else, or conveniently forget certain facts. And before you know it, you're second-guessing yourself. That's how they operate. They thrive in the gray area where truth and fiction blur. And if you allow them into your world, they will rewrite your reality. But here's the deal. You don't need to be a detective to spot a chronic liar. You just need to pay attention. Look at their patterns, not just their words. Do their stories constantly shift? Do they tell you one thing today and something completely different tomorrow? Do they get defensive when questioned or try to gaslight you into believing you misunderstood? These are red flags, and if you ignore them, you're inviting chaos into your life. Now let's get real. What's the price of trusting a liar? It's more than just being misled. It's wasted time, lost opportunities, and emotional exhaustion. Maybe you invest in a business deal based on their false promises only to watch it crumble. Maybe you pour your heart into a relationship built on deception only to realize it was never real to begin with. Maybe you confide in them, share your dreams, your fears, your secrets, only to have them twist those very words against you later. So what do? You set a standard. You stop giving endless chances to people who prove time and time again that they can't be trusted. You stop making excuses for them. Oh, they didn't mean to, they were just stressed, maybe I misunderstood. No, you understood perfectly. You saw the signs, you felt the discomfort. Trust that. Because every time you ignore it, you're giving them permission to keep lying, to keep manipulating, to keep taking advantage of your kindness. Cut them out, walk away, call them out if necessary. But don't waste another second trying to fix someone who thrives on deception. Your energy is too valuable. Your future is too important. You cannot afford to keep people around who distort reality just to serve themselves. Because every moment spent with a liar is a moment stolen from the life you deserve. There's a kind of person out there who doesn't just lie, they shape reality to fit their own agenda. They don't just deceive, they control. And the worst part, you often don't even realize it's happening until you're deep in their web. These are the master manipulators, the people who twist your emotions, distort the truth, and make you act in ways that serve them while making you believe it was your choice all along. Manipulators aren't always obvious. They don't come with warning signs or a label on their forehead that says, "I'm here to control you." No, they're smarter than that. They make you feel comfortable, like you can trust them, like they have your best interests at heart. And that's what makes them dangerous. Because the moment you lower your guard, the moment you stop questioning, they start pulling the strings. Have you ever felt guilty about something you didn't even do? Ever apologized when deep down you knew you were right? Ever changed your plans, your decisions, your dreams because someone made you feel like you had to? That's manipulation at work. These people have mastered the art of making you doubt yourself. They use guilt, obligation, even love as weapons. And before you know it, you're making choices that don't align with your goals, your happiness, or your truth. They'll tell you they're doing it for you. I just want what's best for you, I'm only saying this because I care. But in reality, it's never about you. It's about maintaining their control, keeping you just uncertain enough that you keep looking to them for answers. Because the moment you start thinking for yourself, the moment you start standing firm in your own decisions, their power over you begins to crumble. And they can't have that. You see this in toxic relationships, in business partnerships gone wrong, even in friendships that feel one-sided. Manipulators are everywhere, and they play the long game. They don't just go for the obvious moves. They wear you down over time. They make you question your instincts. They turn small requests into big demands, little favors into lifelong obligations, and suddenly you're carrying a weight you were never meant to bear, sacrificing your own needs to keep them happy. But here's the truth. They will never be satisfied. No matter how much you give, no matter how much you bend, it will never be enough. Because manipulation isn't about reaching a goal. It's about control for the sake of control. It's about keeping you dependent, uncertain, always looking for their approval. And if you don't recognize it, you will spend your life dancing to someone else's tune, never truly living for yourself. So how do you spot them? Watch how they react when you say no. A healthy person respects boundaries. A manipulator takes it as a challenge. They push, they guilt trip. They make you feel like you're the bad guy for prioritizing yourself. They twist your words, bring up the past, play the victim, all to make you question your own judgment. If every conversation leaves you feeling drained, guilty, or confused, you're not dealing with a friend, you're dealing with a master manipulator. And here's the hardest part, letting go. Because manipulators don't just control your actions, they control your emotions. They make you believe that cutting them out makes you the bad person, that standing up for yourself is selfish, that choosing your own happiness is a betrayal. But listen to me, walking away from manipulation isn't selfish, it's survival. It's taking back your power, your voice, your life. And the sooner you do it, the sooner you start living on your own terms. You don't owe anyone your peace of mind. You don't owe anyone your time, your energy, your dreams. The people who truly care about you will support you without strings attached. They won't twist your emotions to keep you in line. They won't guilt trip you into submission. And if someone in your life is doing that, it's time to cut the strings, because the only person who should be in control of your life is you. You ever notice how some people walk into a room and the whole energy shifts, not because they bring excitement, not because they inspire, but because they drain the very life out of the space? These people don't take your money, they don't take your possessions, but what they do steal is far more valuable. Your energy, your motivation, your drive. They are energy leeches, and if you let them, they will suck you dry. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The ones who are always complaining, always negative, always making every problem seem bigger than it is. No matter what you say, no matter how much you try to help, they always have a reason why things won't work. And it's not just their words. It's the way they carry themselves, the way they make you feel exhausted just by being around them. These people don't have to be loud or aggressive. Sometimes they come in the form of the person who's always playing the victim. No matter what's happening, it's never their fault. Life is unfair. The system is against them. Other people get all the luck. And instead of looking for solutions, instead of taking action, they just want someone to listen, to sympathize, to agree with them. And guess what? The more time you spend around them, the more their energy starts to rub off on you. Think about it. Have you ever left a conversation feeling completely drained, like your excitement, your passion, your focus was just sucked right out of you? That's not a coincidence. That's a sign. Energy is contagious. When you surround yourself with people who bring energy, who are solution-driven, who lift you up, you feel it. You feel stronger, more capable, more alive. But when you surround yourself with people who constantly complain, who always focus on what's wrong, who drain your enthusiasm, you feel that too. And the worst part, these people don't even realize they're doing it. They don't wake up thinking, how can I drain the energy from everyone I meet today? No, they're just stuck in a cycle of negativity. And if you're not careful, they'll pull you into it with them. You start to absorb their habits, their mindset, their excuses. You start second guessing your own dreams, your own goals, because their energy makes you feel like nothing is possible. And listen, this isn't about abandoning people who are struggling. We all go through hard times. We all need support. That's different. I'm talking about the people who make negativity their identity, the ones who refuse to see solutions, the ones who don't want to grow. They just want company in their misery, those are the ones you have to be careful of, because no matter how much you try to help, no matter how much advice you give, they don't want to change. They just want someone to validate their struggle, to feed into their excuses, to carry their burden for them. But here's the truth. You cannot afford to carry someone else's negativity. You cannot afford to let their energy become your energy. Because the moment you do, you start moving slower. You start hesitating. You start doubting yourself. And that's exactly how dreams die. Not with a big moment, not with a sudden failure, but with small daily leaks of energy that leave you too exhausted to fight for what you want. So what do? You protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. You set boundaries. You stop entertaining conversations that drain you. You recognize when someone is pulling you into their negativity, and you step back. And if that means walking away from certain people, if that means limiting your time with them, then so be it, because the cost of keeping them around is too high. You deserve to be around people who challenge you, who inspire you, who make you feel alive, people who push you forward, not hold you back. People who bring solutions, not just problems. And when you make that shift, when you start surrounding yourself with energy givers instead of energy drainers, you'll feel it immediately. You'll feel lighter, clearer, more powerful, because the people in your life should fuel your fire, not extinguish it. Nothing reveals a person's true character like adversity. When things are good, when everything is flowing, when there's success, laughter, and abundance, it's easy to have people around you. It's easy to believe they're loyal, that they care, that they're invested in you. But the moment things get tough, the moment you hit a setback, the moment life tests you, that's when you see who's real. Because there's a type of person who only sticks around when it benefits them, the fair weather friend. And if you trust them, if you rely on them, if you build your world around them, you will be left disappointed, drained, and alone when you need them the most. These people show up when there's something in it for them. Maybe it's the good times, maybe it's the opportunities, maybe it's the access to your energy, your resources, your connections. And while things are easy, they seem like they're on your side. They hype you up, they celebrate with you, they act like they're part of your journey. But the moment you face resistance, the moment you struggle, the moment you actually need support, they disappear. They make excuses. They're too busy. They don't return your calls. Suddenly they're nowhere to be found. Ever notice how some people are only available when it's convenient for them? They love the spotlight, but they vanish in the storm. They'll be there for the parties, for the wins, for the excitement, but when you're grinding, when you're facing doubt, when you're picking yourself back up, they're missing. And here's what you have to understand. True friendship, real loyalty, isn't about who celebrates with you at the top. It's about who stands with you at the bottom. Who's in your corner when there's nothing to gain? And this isn't just about friendships. It's business partners, colleagues, even family members. There are people who will align with you as long as you're providing something they want, as long as you're making things easy for them. But the second you stop serving their needs, the second you need something from them, they show you who they really are. They were never truly in it for you. They were in it for what they could get. And once you stop giving, they stop showing up. This is why you cannot base your trust on words alone. People will tell you they have your back. They'll tell you they care, but the truth is only revealed in action. Who answers the call when you need them? Who checks in not just when things are exciting, but when things are uncertain? Who stands with you when there's no spotlight, no attention, no reward? That's your real circle. That's your real team. And let's be clear, you don't need an army of people. You don't need 100 friends. You just need the right ones. The ones who show up when it matters. The ones who don't just enjoy the good times, but are willing to fight through the challenges with you. Because life is unpredictable. Business is unpredictable. Success is never a straight line. And if you're surrounded by people who only stick around when the sun is shining, you're in trouble the moment the storm hits. So how do you spot them? Watch how they react when things get difficult. Do they distance themselves? Do they suddenly have 100 reasons why they can't be there? Do they avoid the uncomfortable moments? That's your sign. That's when you see what they're really about. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you stop wasting energy on the wrong people. Because here's the truth. When you stop chasing fair weather friends, you make space for the real ones. The ones who don't care if you're up or down, winning or losing, celebrated or forgotten. The ones who are there because they believe in you, not because of what you can provide. And those are the people who will push you, challenge you, support you, and stand beside you through it all. Those are the people who matter. And those are the only people you should ever trust. Success has a way of exposing people. The moment you start growing, the moment you start winning, the moment you begin stepping into your power, watch what happens. Not everyone will celebrate with you. Not everyone will cheer you on. Some people, the ones you thought were in your corner, will start to pull away. They'll downplay your achievements, act indifferent, maybe even make little comments disguised as jokes. They don't say it outright, but you'll feel it. That's envy. And if you're not careful, these people, the envious underminers, will do everything they can to keep you from going any further. You've seen it before. That friend who suddenly seems distant when you get a promotion. That family member who starts making passive-aggressive remarks when you step into something bigger. That colleague who subtly discredits your ideas in meetings, always finding a way to poke holes in your plans. They don't attack you outright because they don't want to look like the bad guy. Instead, they operate in the shadows, planting doubt, making you question yourself, slowly chipping away at your confidence. These people don't necessarily hate you. In fact, part of them might even admire what you've accomplished. But their problem isn't with you. It's with what your success reflects back at them. When you rise, when you take action, when you prove that change is possible, it forces them to confront the fact that they're still stuck, that they're still making excuses, that they could be doing more, but they're not. And instead of using that as fuel to grow, they resent you for it. You ever shared good news with someone and immediately feel their energy shift? Maybe they fake a smile, maybe they change the subject, maybe they say something like, must be nice, or some of us don't have that kind of luck. That's not support. That's envy speaking. And if you don't recognize it for what it is, if you keep them too close, they'll start finding ways to pull you back down to their level. And here's the tricky part. Sometimes these people have been in your life for years. Maybe they were supportive when you were struggling, when you weren't a threat to their own insecurities. But the moment you outgrow the version of yourself they were comfortable with, the moment you start achieving things they haven't, something shifts. They can't celebrate you because deep down your growth reminds them of everything they haven't done. But you cannot shrink yourself to make other people comfortable. You cannot slow down just to keep someone else from feeling insecure. If your success threatens them, if your growth makes them uncomfortable, that's their problem, not yours. The right people will be inspired by your progress. They'll see your wins as proof that more is possible. They'll push themselves harder because you've shown them what can be done. Those are the people you want in your circle. So what do you do with the envious underminers? You distance yourself. You stop seeking validation from people who secretly want to see you fail. You stop explaining yourself, justifying your ambition, or downplaying your achievements to make them feel better. You keep moving forward with or without them, because here's the truth. Someone else's insecurity should never become your limitation. You worked for this. You earned it, and no amount of envy should ever make you question what you're capable of. The right people will celebrate you. The wrong ones will try to hold you back. Choose wisely. Trust is built on one thing: follow through. It's not words, it's not promises, it's not good intentions, it's action. It's showing up when you said you would, doing what you said you'd do, being the person you claim to be. And yet, there's a type of person who will tell you everything you want to hear, make commitments, give their word, and then when it comes time to deliver, they vanish. They have an excuse, they forgot, something came up. And they do this over and over again, leaving you frustrated, disappointed, and carrying the weight of their broken promises. These are the commitment breakers, and if you trust them, if you rely on them, if you build anything with them, you will pay the price. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The friend who swears they'll be there but always backs out at the last minute. The business partner who talks big but never follows through. The coworker who promises to handle something but always leaves you picking up the pieces. They might not do it maliciously. They might not even realize how much damage they cause. But the result is the same. You're left stranded. At first, you might make excuses for them. Maybe they're just busy. Maybe they really did mean well. Maybe they'll get it right next time. But time and time again, they prove exactly who they are. Someone you cannot count on. And the more you allow it, the more they get away with it. Because here's the truth, people will treat you the way you allow them to. If you keep accepting empty promises, if you keep trusting people who let you down, if you keep giving them chances, they will keep disappointing you, not because they're bad people, but because they don't value commitment the way you do. And that's the real issue here. A commitment breaker doesn't respect time, not yours, not theirs, not anyone's. They don't see the ripple effect of their broken word. They don't realize that when they don't show up, someone else has to pick up the slack. that their failure to deliver costs people energy, opportunity, and trust. And over time, this pattern doesn't just frustrate you, it drains you. It slows you down. It makes you question whether you can rely on anyone at all. But let's be clear, this is not about expecting perfection. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has moments where they fall short. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about patterns. We're talking about people who consistently fail to show up, who make promises they never intend to keep, who make you feel like you have to chase them just to get them to do what they already committed to. That's not a mistake. That's a habit. And if you keep these people close, their lack of commitment will start to affect your own results. So what do? You hold people accountable. You stop giving your trust so easily. You stop believing in words and start watching actions. You recognize that if someone can't keep their word in the small things, they won't keep it in the big things either. And most importantly, you make a decision. You will not waste your time, your energy, or your future on people who don't follow through. Because in the end, success is not built on words, it's built on action. It's built on people who do what they say they're going to do, people who show up no matter what, people who take responsibility instead of making excuses. Surround yourself with those people and you will go further than you ever imagined. Trust the wrong ones and you will spend your life cleaning up after their failures. Choose wisely.